Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to present an application called Professional README Generator. I will explain how I developed this application by using two things, index.js and generate markdown. I'm going to start with index.js. I use Inquirer package to get the required questions that I need, the prompts that I need to create the README MD. Also, we are required to have a FS file system, and all this requires a constant that I created first. So this is the first step. After I explain how I developed the program, I'm going to run the program with the terminal so you guys can see the actual README file that we're gonna create as an example. After we download the package, we have to first we have to create all the questions needed for the user to create his README. We will have several prompts, like you see here. The title, why did you build this project? There's a lot of prompts that the user is going to answer. And then after he does that, there is a function that the beginning of the function is here when we prompt the user, and the end of the function is to connect it to the generate markdown. So the the function will allow us to have data on the README file. So the generate markdown is where we create the functions that return the information so we can have a README for that specific user. There are licenses. There are 6 licenses that I use here. So the user can render a license with this function, and he can pick the one they want, and they will have the open source license, and they will see how they have to activate the license. After that, there is a function that we need to generate the markdown. And this function is going to have all the areas that are going to have that the markdown is going to contain. It's going to be very professional. There's a description. The description has 2 questions: the data of why I'm creating the program, and the data of solution that we are providing to the user. There's a table of contents with the license, and they're going to pick the license they want, the installation, how we install it, the usage, the contribution, the testing, and 2 additional questions that in this case are their personal GitHub account and their email if people want to ask questions about how the program works. So then after this, on line 66, you see that the application will generate the README. So in order for you guys to see how this works, I'm going to use the node index.js, and we will be prompt with each question that is going to generate the data for the README MD. What is the title of the project? Well, the title of the project is Professional README Generator. And why did we build this project? This is gonna be the description. The reason why we build this project is to generate a professional README by following the node index GS prompt. Remember, what we're doing here is just a sample, so you can see all these answers on the README after we finish. What problem does we solve? Well, it solves the problem of generating a detailed README for any project. How do you install it? To install the application, all you need to do is download the develop folder with all the packages required to produce the application and then run it. The application and then run it. Usage of this application. It will be used as a README of any application a user create. Add a screenshot using alt text, and then the way you say the images, in this case, asset images, a screenshot. So this is just an explanation how you can add a screenshot. I said, okay, to that I understood. How can I contribute with this application? Well, the contribution, the user will have the ability to generate, have the ability to generate professional README every time you create a new application. Okay, how can I use a user test this application? We will use node index.js, which is what we're doing right now. And that will test if it's running perfectly. Add your GitHub so users can ask questions. In this case, you're only gonna type your user ID on GitHub, and that's all it takes, and the program will generate the address for the README. How to reach me with additional questions? By email. So all you have to do here is type your personal email or the one you want. Choose a license. Here we're gonna choose, the user is gonna choose the license that they need. And when they choose the license, this license is gonna go to the README. After we do this, your README is generated. So let's see if what we did is right here. And it is. All the questions we answered are here. The reason is to generate professional README. All the table of contents are developed in this area: license installation, users contribution, the testing, how we do it. And additional questions are too. What's your email address and what's your GitHub account? Both of them were generated by the program. And thank you so much for listening. This is the development of a very useful application for developers. Thank you very much.